Okay, this is Uncover Your Past Lives Oracle. Okay. It's a deck by Mystic Mandy, aka Mandy Peterson. It's a really cool deck. I've done 2 readings with this now and I'm in love with it. It's to find out who you were in a past life. Okay, I've always wondered stuff like this. So, bit of a trigger warning, okay, like it covers all subjects. So if you know that something might distress you, like for example, kinds of trauma, then I'm just warning you now that it covers everything. So the reason that the oracle was made, so the author explained, maybe you feel a tendency to avoid certain places or people or things. Maybe equally, you're drawn to certain places, people or things. Maybe you are really knowledgeable about a subject and you're not even sure, maybe you have psychic abilities, maybe you have tendencies or interests in things and you've never really understood why. This can be one of the ways to find that out, but we wouldn't be able to understand if we censored everything. So just to get that out there. But it's been really interesting so far. So the cards are double-sided. On the front, I'll ask Spirit to pick out who you were, and it'll give me 1 or 2 cards, sometimes a clump of them, and then we'll get extra details minor details, well, not minor details, but more detailed information, like where you were located or what happened to you. Okay, so this is for Gemini. So Spirit, please can you give me some information for who Gemini was in a previous life? Okay, because in tarot, putting religion aside, and a lot of religions believe in reincarnation and, having a human experience but being a spiritual being. In tarot, we believe that you're of the ether, you're of the universe. So even once, you're gone in the sort of physical flesh, it doesn't mean you won't have another life or you haven't had past lives. In fact, a lot of what we talk about is being in someone else's life for a reason, a season or a lifetime, because you're brought into one another's pathways. It's divinely orchestrated. There's nothing, it's not about coincidences. Nothing is accidental. It's to help you, for example, if you came into contact with a karmic, that's to force you to draw some boundaries where maybe you haven't given yourself boundaries, or, if you fall in love, it's to know that, you have so much to give, and if you have that feeling where you feel like you've known someone forever and you're so comfortable around them, maybe you've known them in another life, do you know what I mean? If someone continually comes in and out of your life and you're totally drawn to each other and you have insane chemistry, you could be twin flames, that are you people with lessons to learn, your souls with lessons to learn. You agreed in the 5D as spirit to, live out a life together and learn lessons. So twin flames have a runner-chaser dynamic because you're there to trigger healing in one another. So it's never, it's a roller coaster. It's up and down, it's on and off. It's never plain sailing, because you're trying to heal, and you do. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be together forever, or that it's going to be straightforward. So, yeah, but I just think it's cool, and some people are afraid of heights, and it's actually been proven that, DNA carries trauma within it. So if you have phobias and stuff, it can, for example, I'm afraid of heights, it can what do I want to say? It can point to reasons why they might be there. Okay. So anyway, let's get on with it. For Gemini, Spirit, can you pull out some cards so I can identify who Gemini was in a previous life, please? Alternative sexuality. Oops. It wants me to look at this side. Okay. So we've got, I don't even know what that word is. Hubris. What's that? Hubris. Lesson. Hubris. Time frame. Early Stone Age. Identity. Adult male. A possessive kind of love. Nature-based faith. There was some kind of accident, some kind of trauma. He lived in a jungle. There was an animal attack. What is hubris? Can someone comment below? We've got polygamist or polyamorous, sexual minority, Casanova, and asexual. So there was something alternative about your sexuality. Well, if you lived in the jungle in the Stone Age, I wouldn't say you were. I mean, you could have been a Casanova. It's making me think of like Tarzan and Jane. No. I mean, if you were asexual, that's a bit odd. I mean, you died by accident. You were eaten by an animal. So, I mean, there's a picture of... there's a picture of two women there. But it covers anything that's considered, you know, outside of a societal norm or typical. So, polygamist, so multiple partners, sexual or relationship. What time period did it say? Early Stone Age. Well, that's when you're just meeting your basic instincts, pretty much, isn't it? People saw you as outside of the norm somehow, but you died from an animal attack. If you got anything else for me, Spirit, it kept wanting me to look at this side. You had a nature-based faith. Okay, well that makes sense with the time period. Anything else? Yeah, let me shuffle them so we can get other sides, because they're two-sided, but one side doesn't relate to another. Anything else for Gemini, please, Spirit? Who were they in a previous life? Okay, so it's come out like detail side up. Okay, it's pulling up. That's mad, that, you know. That's actually mad. So, that's mad. It's brought up underground civilization twice. It's going like Indiana Jones vibes, that torture. Passive conformity, nature-based faith. American Civil War era. Friend. Yeah, you've got the same, that's double confirmation. I'm getting like a very passive, benign character, very friendly. Someone who's been linked to royalty in a previous life. Either as an illegitimate child, a direct descendant, deposed or loss of title, distant relation. Philanthropist, saintly, caretaker, martyr, saviour or hero, because obviously you can have multiple past lives. So they're different time periods, you see. So in a past life, yeah, you could have been, you know, you could have been someone very religious, you could have been a martyr, philanthropist, you could have been someone who was related to the royals. So we're looking at, you know, this looks medieval, and then this looks much later on. And we've got one for jungle. Gemini, you're the cat with 9 lives. Who are you going to be after this? Right, serious. So, you could be someone who has a really big heart. Okay, actually quite sensitive. A little bit pompous at times. And you might have an alternative sexuality, or, you know, be asexual, like someone who's non-sexual. You just don't have sexual feelings. You could be polyamorous or polygamist. You could believe that, you know, it's okay to have multiple wives or multiple husbands or partners. You know, you might be someone who's a bit promiscuous, you know, a Casanova, someone who goes from one person to the next. You're very open to sexual encounters, romantic, intimate encounters. I think they're unrelated, to be honest. I think which way did that one flip out? Wasn't it that way? Or was it that way? Because they might not have anything to do with it. So if I read that one as that way, and these two, because it flipped that one up, that way up, I think, and these two this way up. So if we go with some kind of alternative sexuality, We've got American Civil War era. These are both exactly the same on the details side. Love, friendship, passive conformity, torture, underground civilization, psychological or verbal abuse, cult, faith, companionship, love. Yeah, that's interesting, you know, because it's got for love, you identify as someone who's a really good friend, and that's how you you know, your love language is companionship. So maybe in a past life you fell in love with somebody of the same sex. It's saying during the American Civil War you were captured and tortured. Passive conformity is like, you know, if, say, like if a country's invaded, you can't really resist that, you know, as one person. It's just that, you know, now, say like there's a coup or something like this, it's just announced like this is, you know, this state is this religion, or this, you know, this is what we're doing now, kind of thing. So it's like you comply, but it's because what else are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? Like if you're asked to like participate in, you know, making munitions during war era, and, you know, like my nan had to make, you know, ammunition. It's not like she was an engineer or like someone who, you know, helped sort of create a war scenario, or like, you know, but that we were just embroiled in a world war. So she was told this is what your job is now. So by the government. So interesting. I actually think that's the way it's supposed to be. I actually think you fell in love because, you know, during times of war, if you're in captivity, you know, you would love your best friend, wouldn't you? You know. It's like a bond like no other, because of things you've been through, and, you know, you see different sides to people that you've never seen before. You'd have to comfort one another. That aspect may have nothing to do with it. It may have just been, you know, a wonderful love affair during this event in history. This feels right. This tells a story now. Before, I was like looking at both sides, but the way Spirit pulled it out was that one that way up, and this way up, and they're exactly the same answers. So I think that's what it is. Okay, I hope you found that interesting, Gemini. Give me a like if you enjoyed this kind of reading. Give it a repost to help get my videos out there. The channel's growing well, actually, so thank you to everyone that's been supporting me. I get notifications for every like and every share and, like, you know, follow and everything, so thank you for that. And, you know, it's just a tarot deck at the end of the day. But you know, this covers like everything. It covers absolutely everything. It's not censored, so I hope no one's offended by it or anything like that. Please consider subscribing to me. If you're watching this on TikTok, consider finding me on YouTube, because I have an about page where I offer personal readings. If you're interested in having a message from a loved one who's passed away, I can pull a card for you, and I won't charge for that. You can donate to the channel if you want to. You can scroll back and look for other readings. And on YouTube, there's such a huge tarot platform. It really is like worth watching tarot on there. And if you like to multitask like I do, if you're really busy, you can have it on the TV and it won't kind of turn off or anything like that, or use up your phone battery. And YouTube is where I discovered tarot, and it's a really lovely platform, so I want to stay loyal to it. And I've had a few new subscribers since I started doing shorts and discovering the right keywords, so it's all good. I will see you in the next one.